Max sucks. 5 reasons why he sucks. Let's go. Reason number 1. Hit me with it.
Reason number 5. He is a shit fucking teammate. Selfish bastard. Perez has helped them time and time again over the course of the 2 seasons that they've spent with each other. And how does he help Perez when Perez needs a couple of points to try and secure second in the championship? Basically tells Perez to go fuck himself. Says that he's not letting him through, even though the only way he got past Perez in the race was because Perez let him through, based on the knowledge that he might be getting back through later on if Verstappen couldn't pass Alonso and Leclerc. So he's just a shit teammate, and it's not just Perez. He's had this shit before in the past. Him and Danny Rick didn't really get along. They crashed a lot, and he also had this issue with Carlos Sainz. There was one race back in 2015 where he was a lap behind Carlos Sainz, but he refused to move out the way, and fuck him. He's a bad teammate. He wants to be number 1.
What race was that?
Can't remember.
That's fucking shit business, not letting your teammate through his lap.
Yeah, Sainz wasn't happy. Reason number 4, the team revolves around Max Verstappen. He is the number 1 driver. He does not need to fight against his teammate. Either his teammate is shit or his teammate's not allowed to race him. Now, you can look back through all the years since he's been promoted into Red Bull, or even when he was in the junior team, Toro Rosso. Either he's far too good for his teammate, or on the occasions where his teammate is able to match him and compete with him, his teammate simply has to yield or give up the position, or is given a dodgy strategy to allow Max to win. We've seen it time and time again. Even at the start of the season this year, Perez in Baku was told not to fight Verstappen. Even though if Perez had won that race, he would have overtaken Verstappen at the top of the standings. So how is that fair?
Exactly.
It's not like Verstappen was fighting against Leclerc or Hamilton on his own for the title. Perez was within a race win, going top of the driver's standing. So how was it fair that Perez had to yield? It wasn't. Loads of times Perez has had to yield. He's not been allowed to fight. Danny Rick essentially left Red Bull because A, albeit he knew he wasn't good enough to beat Verstappen, but B, he knew that he probably wouldn't have been allowed to beat Verstappen because Verstappen is the Red Bull love child. So yeah, he's number 1 at Red Bull, and for that reason, he sucks. At least Hamilton had to compete for his titles at Mercedes. Bottas might not have been good enough, but at least Bottas was allowed to race.
Valtteri, it's James. Anyway,
well, apart from that time.
Verstappen, it's Jos. Reason number 3 is dead sucked. Jos Verstappen, right? Shite. This guy wasn't even mid-card.
Well, let's look at people whose dads were in F1. Mick Schumacher, dad, the fucking greatest of all time. Nico Rosberg, Keke Rosberg, multiple world champion. Jack Villeneuve, his dad,
Graham Hill,
I believe, won the world title. Right, most people whose dads were in F1 either were world champions, and that's technically why they're in it, or they were actually at least a good driver and they won races. Jos Verstappen didn't do any of that. He just kind of fucking took up a place on the grid.
He drive for arrows, he thought he was brilliant.
He was essentially a backmarker, let's be real. His dad's also a pretty nasty person, but I don't want to go into all those times he hit his wife, or else he might get sued. Don't want that, right? Reason number 2, he's a bad sportsman. He's not a good racer. He'll essentially just try and... If he can't overtake you fairly, he'll just crash into you so neither of you can get the position, really. I mean, we've seen it before. Brazil there with Hamilton. A couple of years ago, it happened at Brazil where he wouldn't allow Ocon to get past and unlap himself. Ocon's entitled to do that. Verstappen touches Ocon. He's the one that squeezes Ocon out, and apparently that's Ocon's fault. He wanted to fight Ocon while they were getting weight checked or whatever. Multiple times. I remember in China, he could have his second win for Red Bull, and he decided to crash into someone and it gifted Danny Rick a win. The guy just cannot help himself, right? The guy's got no patience. If he sees a gap, he goes for it. You look at Abu Dhabi, and that move that he done on Hamilton into, was it turn 4? He was crying on the radio for Hamilton. Oh, he has to give that back. No, he doesn't. You fucking literally dived in the inside. You didn't give Hamilton room to complete the corner. How can Hamilton have to give that back? You have to make a fair overtake. That was not a fair overtake. That was Max Verstappen prepared to crash into Lewis. Lewis had to yield, and I don't think Lewis should have gave that place back, and neither did the Stewarts.
No, you know though, right? If Hamilton doesn't move and Max takes him clean it, Max gets a penalty for it.
Of course he does.
So that's how you know Hamilton doesn't have to fucking let him back through.
But all he did was cry and complain. Oh, you have to let me. You have to give that back. You have to give that back. No, mate, you were willing to ram right into the fucking side of him. And speaking of Abu Dhabi, reason number one, I don't give a shit. He was handed the world title, right? I don't like Hamilton. At the time, I was probably happy that Hamilton lost the title. But let's be real, that decision was ridiculous. Last lap, half the cars are unlapping themselves, and all of a sudden, they restart the race just because they didn't want the season to end under a safety car. What? No wonder Hamilton was fuming. No wonder Total Wolff was having a fucking meltdown.
Mikey!
Because it wasn't right.
Mikey!
They made a mistake.
Mikey!
It wasn't fair. And even then, Hamilton almost came back at him on the last bloody lap. When he almost made the... when he overtook him into turn 3, that wasn't even the best opportunity for Max, but he literally just could not help himself. He couldn't wait till he got further in the track, and he had to make the move as soon as he could. But even then, Hamilton... almost got him back. So, you know what? Fuck Max Verstappen. The guy sucks. That's it. 5 reasons. Till next time.
Fuck you, Dutch bastards.
And if you have any reasons of your own, let us know in the comments down below. But until then,
peace.